All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do the homework from Introduction to Microscopy in the compound microscope section. The question is number 2, and it says, the object in the previous problem is now moved to the image conjugate plane. What is the linear magnification of the new image? I don't know. So, first, I'm going to rewind and go over question 1 really quickly. We were given DO and the focal length at 16 centimeters and 10 centimeters, and we had to find the magnification. First, we had to solve for DI using this equation, and I found my DI to be 26.67 centimeters. Cool. So, now that I have all my variables, we can solve for the linear magnification. And that is just equal to negative DI over DO, which was negative 26.67 over 16, which gave me a magnification of negative 1.67. So, to give you a little idea of what that looks like, here's my little lens and my object, and here's my inverted image. And we found this length, the DI. So, now we can move on to question 2 using this information. But now we know that the object has moved to the image conjugate plane. And what this is saying is that what was once our image, like our object, has now moved to where the image once stands. And that just looks like this. So this was our image and is now our object. And we can kind of just go in the reverse direction, and we can find that this is where our new image is. However, we know that these two things, this image and this object, have a reciprocal relationship, and so you know that these lengths are still going to stand. However, just to double check what that distance would be, we're going to use our DI from before, which is now going to be our new DO, which is just the distance to our object, and that's still 26.67. So, using the same equation of 1F is equal to 1DO over plus 1DI, we get 1 over 10 is equal to 1 over 26.67 plus 1 over DI, and we can solve for DI again, which is just this distance here, and I found 15.99. which is exactly what we thought it was going to be, which is the same distance as the object in the previous problem of 16, which is cool. So now, using all of these variables that we've now found, we can solve for the magnification using negative DI over DO, and our DI, which is this DI, was 15.99, which is roughly 16, over our new DO, 26.67, and we get the new magnification to be negative 0.599. Awesome.